Hi everybody, I'm Rebecca Keppel. I'm super excited to be here on Thermoweb's YouTube channel today. I have a few new cards for you that I have made with some Echo Park supplies and then of course lots of Thermoweb goodies, including the Deco foil transfer gel over a stencil to create a window card with foiled and dimensional designs on them. So here are the supplies that I use. This is the iCraft Deco Foil Transfer Gel. This is what we're going to use to create that foil design. I also have a stencil and a palette knife. You can see the end was chewed by my dog. I also have my Thermoweb purple tape and a clear Thermoweb sheet. Now Thermoweb also sells these sheets with pre-printed toner designs on them that you can foil, but we need the clear sheet for this one. And I'm going to temporarily adhere that stencil with the purple tape down to that clear sheet. These clear sheets are heat resistant, so we'll be able to run it through the laminator without any warping or burning or melting. So I'm going to apply the transfer gel on top of the stencil. It doesn't have to be super smooth. I like a little texture to it. Once I'm done, I'm going to remove my stencil. Make sure to wash your stencil right away and your palette knife. I have the Thermoweb Gina K Designs white cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11 and I'm cutting it in half lengthwise. The other sheet I'm cutting into fours. So I'll have 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panels, and then I'll have two card bases that are 4 1/4 by 8.5 that I'm going to score in the middle there. And I'm going to do that so that I can sandwich my window in between those two. I'm going to line them up together, and then I'm going to use the Thermoweb Gina K Designs label die to cut out a window out of both pieces at the same time. If you have any issues with this, you could use a precision base plate underneath, and I'm going to temporarily adhere that die to those two pieces of cardstock with my Thermoweb purple tape, and that's going to keep it in place. I'm going to run it through my Sizzix machine, and then you'll see that I'll have a card panel that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 with the label cut out. I'll also have a card base that's a top folding 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch note card that also has the label cut out in the same exact spot. This way I'll be able to layer those on top of each other and put our window in the middle. Next, that top layer, that card panel, I am just going to ink up with some Distress Oxide inks, and I'm using a blending brush for this because I want a slightly lighter look than the traditional ink blending tool would give me. And this color and the other colors that I chose really match well with that Echo Park paper collection that I'm using. Next, I'm going to have a strip of the Echo Park pattern paper, and I treated it with some anti-static powder tool, and now I'm stamping a sentiment in with watermark ink and pouring some white embossing powder, and you can see all the sentiments that I stamped out. Okay, once your transfer gel is dry, it will be clear. So I'm just going to trim this down just to make it easier to work with. And then I have my foil sheets. I have a parchment paper sandwich and a piece of cardstock just to use as a shim to keep the pressure even over the entire piece of transfer sheet there. I'm going to run this through my laminator, which is nice and hot. I really let it get heated up even more than when the green light goes on. I'm going to set that aside to cool, and I'm going to do the next color and run that through the laminator. And you can see when you peel off that transfer sheet, that foil, it's an absolutely beautiful shiny design. I am cutting these down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 so that they fit well on my card. And if there were any spots that I didn't do a great job of putting the transfer gel on, or it smushed because I used too much, I'm just trimming those away. But I can save those for another project as well. So I'm going to open up my die cut card panels, and I'm going to use my Memory Runner XL, which has a really nice pivoting tip that I can get all around that label there. I'm going to lay my window on top, and now I'm going to take that card panel that we inked up, I'm going to put it on top of that, and that's going to sandwich my window with the foil design right in between. If there's anything hanging off, you can then just trim it with a pair of scissors and you'll be able to have a beautiful foiled dimensional design on your card window. So I'm going to do the same exact thing with the blue. I'm just going to use that Memory Runner XL to get all around that label just to make sure that it holds up really, really well in the mail. You can see that time I had a little bit hanging off the right hand side, just using my scissors to trim that away. And that's really the best part about the card. Now I'm just going to embellish it with my sentiment and some stickers from that Echo Park collection as well. Everything will be linked down below if you're interested in checking out either the Echo Park collection or the products that I use to create the window. Okay, so on one card, I'm going to have the sentiment be flat. On the other one, I did pop it up with some 3D Zots, which are my favorite to use on cards because they are clear, so you can't see them from the front at all. For the one where the sentiment is flat, I decided to pop up the stickers. And I did that by taking off the sticky with some anti-static powder tool and then using my 3D Zots on the back. And you use the Zots, they stay on the roll, and you just put that non-sticky sticker on top of the Zot and then peel it away, and it's got that nice dimension, and also, like I said, it's clear so you don't see it at all. And that's how easy it is to make these foiled dimensional windows for your cards. They have so much beauty to them that you don't need to add a lot more other than maybe a few stickers and a sentiment. So if you're interested in the supplies I used, again, they'll be linked all down below for you. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a wonderful day.